Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Ordinary Guys Bourbon. Today on the program, you know this guy. He's been on, I think this is the seventh time. Greg Stevens, my dad. How are you today?
Good. Everybody, Happy New Year.
Hey, he's a guy that's anything but ordinary.
That's right.
We almost forgot to say that last episode. So this is our season finale. So season 2, season finale. This episode it's going to go on in just a couple days. I think this will be the first week in January of 2026, right? But I wanted to start off real quick and do a little 2025 recap, right? So, and then I'll explain how this episode is going to work, right? So we've got episode 44 that came out a couple days ago on New Year's Eve. That was with Aaron, right? This is episode, I think it's 22. I don't know, the season finale. This is the 45th video we've made in 2025.
A lot of filming.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of filming. Edited, it came out to 14 hours, 8 minutes, and 59 seconds of content.
Okay.
And in 2025, Ordinary Guys Bourbon has gained 156 subscribers, at least when I did these notes here. 3,500 views, right on the button.
That's good.
And a little over 187 watch hours. The main things that, so if you received the link directly and clicked on it and watched the video, or if you're a subscriber already, you get notified, right? Obviously, that's how you get the video. But as far as finding Ordinary Guys Bourbon through search, the top 3 searches were, one was searching for a distillery general bourbon cologne review.
Okay.
So splash some of this on your, one was the Mark and Digger podcast from Discovery Channel's Moonshiners show. And then one was how to start a whiskey business. Those were the main searches. But here's where it gets interesting. For season 1, we ended it we had like a March Madness style tournament for like the top 12 bourbons ranked from the season 1 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through before we get into this sample today, and the top 4 bourbons so far, because this could be better.
Okay.
The top 4 bourbons so far. Number 4 was season 2, episode 8. That was Traveler. It's the bourbon by Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
With Vito Vitale that had an average score of 81. Number 3 was Jim Beam Black. That was from season 2, episode 14. Jim Beam Black with Robert Beard. Average score was 83. Number 2 went all the way back to episode 2. Maker's Mark with Angelo Falone. That had an average of 84. Real strong scores. And the number 1 bourbon of season 2 so far has been Basil Hayden with Ken Pluff with an 84.5. So out of those 4, Travelers, Jim Beam Black, Maker's Mark, Basil Hayden. How would you rank them?
I like the Jim Beam Black.
Yeah.
It's an inexpensive price and it tastes good.
It certainly fits in with the scoring system we've had in place. That, of course, changes when season 3 starts. But
In fact, I just bought a bottle. I opened last night.
a normal fifth or a 1.75 liter?
On the 5th.
Okay. They're like $20-something, and you can find them everywhere. They're approachable.
Right.
But what do you think of the Basil Hayden?
I'm not that familiar with Basil Hayden, but Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
I'm still waiting for my barrel to mature.
Well, it should be here any day.
Any day. Yeah. Traveler, have you had that one?
No.
That's by Buffalo Trace,
Is it?
but it's in partnership or collaboration with Chris Stapleton, the musician. He sings a powerful national anthem, or some American song. Yeah, so that's what we've got so far. Want me to tell you what the bourbon we're having today?
Sure.
This is a special treat. This was a gift from Aunt Nancy. Okay, Uncle Bougie's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So we don't have price information because that would be tacky, right? Because it was a gift. So let me tell you about this bourbon. Downtown Louisville, Kentucky, it's an amazing destination, full of rich history and amazing things to see and do. Just on the south side of the Ohio River that separates Kentucky from Indiana, there's the Brown Hotel, where the famous hot brown open-faced turkey sandwich with bacon and Mornay sauce was invented back in 1926. On the first Saturday every May for the past 151 years, of course, the Kentucky Derby is held at the Churchill Downs in Louisville. Right? The Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory is a must-visit destination for families, especially those interested in America's pastime. Although their Major League Baseball market share has dropped significantly from the early 20th century, at which time an estimated 80% of ballers used Louisville Slugger bats. The museum is still a really cool place. While you're at it, visit the self-proclaimed, quote, happiest place underground, the Louisville Mega Cavern, which features the world's only fully underground zipline course, along with several other family-friendly subterranean options. They also, appropriately, have a vibrant collection of spots that showcase the bourbon history of Kentucky. Along Whiskey Row, which is a historic stretch on Main Street, you'll find Old Forester Distilling Company, Michner's Fort Nelson Distillery, the Evan Williams Bourbon Experience, Angel's Envy Distillery, Kentucky Peerless Distilling Company, Rabbit Hole, Bro Brothers, amongst others. And one of those others, tucked away in the neighborhood of Paristown, is Uncle Bougie's Distilling Company. Boojie. Although a newcomer, having been founded in 2021 by a very passionate Steve Smith, Uncle Bougie's leans on Smith's family history in the untaxed corn whiskey industry, that's moonshine, and a 200-year-old family recipe to craft their spirits. And then they have something that most new distillers don't have: patience and craftsmanship. And we've talked about this several times, right? You see these new distilleries, and God bless them, right? They're trying to make a go in this industry, right? But they rush their product out, right? Because they need to generate some revenue, right? That's not the case here, right? Each barrel from Uncle Bougie is aged for a minimum of 5 years. This one is aged for 8. So proprietor Smith has said, and this is a long quote here, my family story begins as my sixth great-grandfather, Scottish-Irish by birth, arrived in Kentucky with an E, spelled Kentucke instead of Y, with some of the greatest frontiermen who ever lived. In a constant fight with their fellow man over the essentials of survival, land and resources, each respectively traveled along the Appalachian Mountains and through the Cumberland Gap to cut the wilderness trail. My grandfather helped, this is Mr. Smith, my grandfather helped build Fort Herod and unknowingly created the foundation of Kentucky as we know it today. So his grandfather, great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, created the foundation of Kentucky as a state, as it exists today. So he says. As my grandfather made his journey along this wild terrain, he settled just west of the fort on a large, dense white oak and abundant in limestone-rich streams called Cartwright's Creek. This is where the story of Uncle Bougie's begins. And what a story, right? The stories are clever, and they have some historical accuracies. It makes it difficult to tell if they really have authenticity to them, or if they're like many, brilliantly woven tales that lack truth. Smith makes a point to spell Kentucky with the E. I mentioned that. I kind of highlighted that, which was the official spelling used when the Virginia General Assembly created Kentucky County from Fincastle County on December 31st, 1776. And it remained so until Virginia legislature officially changed the spelling on March 7th, 1789, before it became a state in 1792. Right, so that kind of fits there, right? Fort Herod was indeed significantly the expansion of a very young United States, although there's no mention of anyone surnamed Smith in the original cast of 31 men that built Fort Herod in historical records. So after some initial confrontations with the indigenous Shawnee tribe, another group of men arrived in March of 1775, so it's a year after he said that happened, maybe, and that did include a John Smith from Virginia. According to a paperback book published by Catherine Herod Mason, who was a descendant of James Herod. Right? So there's a little hiccup in the timeline there, and Smith may or may not be a common name. Right? In fact, it's actually the most common name in the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Right? So who knows? This offering, Uncle Bougie's Distilling Company, Distiller's Choice Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This barrel, the barrel from which this is called Jill, and is one of 4 specialty offerings that Uncle Bougie has released. The others named Ember, Candace, and Holly. Bottled at a crisp 105 proof, this is the only version that Uncle Bougie offers that is proofed down. The other ones are higher, right? I couldn't find any documentation about the mash bill, but there are hints online that this is an 80% corn offering. with rye and malted barley rounding out the party. Such a high corn would tend to yield a sweeter bourbon, right? And here's a fun fact: although 80% is generally considered high for corn for bourbon, it's actually the minimum that you can distill a liquid at and call it corn whiskey, right? Other bourbons that feature an 80+% of corn in their mash bill are Knob Creek and Evan Williams. It's also worth mentioning this came from a gift from my awesome Aunt Nancy. We've talked about Aunt Nancy and the Soder clan a couple episodes before, right? And Aunt Nancy was downtown in Louisville with cousin Beth, and sent me some pictures about this place. Have you been here? I hadn't. I guess they sat around a table with this Mr. Smith guy, the proprietor, right? He signed the bottle, right?
Okay.
Had a great time. The pictures that she sent, it looks like an amazing destination. Right? Really cool bar, really cool vibe. It looked like Aunt Nancy said she loved the liquid. She loved it.
That's great.
So here we go. Cheers to Aunt Nancy, and here's to Uncle Bougie.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Not bad. It's pretty smooth.
I'll tell you what. Compared to that, I still have, even though it's been several days now, I still have in the back of my mind that last episode sample I had with Aaron.
Yeah.
That tasted different. This is good. This is good.
With a little bite.
On the neat, yeah. But it's 105 proof as well, right? So I like it on this.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of that story?
It's an interesting
I
story.
mean, do you buy it?
I think so.
Yeah.
We did all the research.
I'm not completely convinced, but I like it. I like the story.
So many years ago, a lot of things have changed.
And it's true. The Wilderness Gap, the Wilderness Trail, right? It came down from Virginia, right, through Appalachia. It went kind of on the south side of Kentucky, if I remember my geography right. The Cumberland Gap is like almost between Kentucky and Tennessee, right? But then I think the Wilderness Trail came back up, right, which kind of dead ended in Louisville. So it would make sense. The thing that really gets me is the 1774 they talked about coming up the trail, and it's a little bit misleading with the was he the comment was that his great grandfather pretty much built Kentucky, all right, and you'd think that if that were the case, that this dude's name would be more prevalent. You know what I mean? That's not a knock. That's not a dig. It's just I think I've been tainted by the number of stories that are just fabrications. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even if it's a bold-faced lie, if a guy is able to sell the story real well and be passionate about it, I'll drink what he's selling.
Sure.
I'll tell you what I do like is and I think it's the extra aging is
That's good.
but you spend the time and everything it's not a linear thing. You don't exactly say, look, if you put it in the barrel for 8 years or 10 years, it's going to be fantastic. But again, if it's a new product, maybe they're using this historic recipe, this historic mash bill, but a newer product, and they were patient with it. They didn't rush it.
So how long did it leave him in business? This Boojie.
4.5 years.
That's it.
2021 is what they said the company was started. And I even tried to find. I spent very little effort on this, to be fair. But if you're going to build up inventory, you're gonna have spirits that you must have procured. You didn't distill. I don't think this initial range themselves. If it's 8 years and you've only been a company for 4, right? But you've got to have some time and some patience. And then they've got this location that's from Aunt Nancy's account, amazing. It takes some capital, right? This guy hit the Powerball or something like that, or investor. I don't know. Let's go to the score. This is the last time we're going to use this scorecard. So we start with heritage,
4 years.
or 200 years.
Right.
Who knows? You know, it's very, very plausible that the family has a history in the unlawfully untaxed corn whiskey industry, right? Moonshining. So. I almost think I watered that down a little bit too much on this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with these.
I think we go a little higher. I'm gonna go with a 12. Because what if I'm just tainted, right? What if all the backstory, all the narrative is 100% legit?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, the company is new, but that's just because they've been doing this for years. They just haven't had a distiller's license. You know. You got 8 though.
Give it an
Okay. Taste and drinkability, maximum 40 on this one. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go with a 34, which might be my highest score for taste and drinkability. I'll go back and look. No, I give this one a 36, but 34 is still a strong score.
Affordability.
That's a tough one.
Since we don't know, I think I'm gonna just put it down there.
You know what though? Let me throw this out to you. So you've got some bourbons that are, you go to the store and you're just buying a bourbon, and here's the price tag for it, right? Let's say this was $100, $150 offering, right? Let's say a $200 offering, right? I believe it's a very, very limited availability, right? I've never seen this in a store. You might have to pick this up. You might be able to order it online, but you might have to pick it up at the distillery, right? That makes it a pretty unique, right? Does that put it in the same class as an Eagle Rare or a Blanton's? Right? I don't know. But I think if this was $100, I think I'd buy this bottle.
Nice shell.
That's getting into design though, right? I just think from the taste alone. Maybe that's a little bit high. Maybe that's a little bit high. I think you're right. Maybe.
I'm gonna stick with 15.
Well, I'll do the same.
No design.
Design, yeah.
I like the bottom. I like the cork. And Mr. Smith signed it up.
I'm not sure I like the paper, the cigar wrapper, right? I like the cork as well. It's got the little stamp on the top,
Yeah.
right?
It's just a regular cork.
Yeah.
No band around the rim, you know?
Yeah, but it's at least cork instead of being rubber
Right.
or neoprene. I like that the label on the back is slightly crooked. I think it's,
Yeah, it is.
so it gives a little hand. And it says on the back, get a little nip. And I like some nip.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with an 8.
Yeah, it's me too.
So what do you got as your total?
I'm at 61.
61. I've got a 69, just to make Mike Franciscovich happy. So not quite strong enough to overthrow the champions. I guess the highest scoring bourbon of season 2 ended up being the Basil Hayden, right? But again, a lot of the scoring, and we've talked about this before, that's heavily influenced by our scoring system.
Basil Hayden, though, how much does that go for a bottle?
I think it's about the 30-40 range. Yeah, 33, 35.
I think the meat sample had a little bit too much of a bite to it.
That stretches your dollar,
This way, it's smooth.
I like it a lot. I gave it a 69. You give it a 61. That's a 65 average score. That's a decent score. Considering I think we had one that was like the average score of like 26 very recently, last episode.
Yeah.
Right. So this is it. This is it for season 2. We've got a little break. Right, we've got to retool some things.
When season 3 starts?
I think it's going to start probably in February. Maybe it might drift until March. Right, I've got some work obligations at my jobby job that I have to take care of. Yeah, and that might impede my ability. But again, there's a lot of things that are changing. We try to grow from season 1 to season 2. Season 3, I'm gonna spill the beans. Right, we're improving our video. Right, we're improving our audio. Right. We know that audio is very, very important. We're going to change the background. Right? Some people are not a big fan of the smooth jazz we've got right now. Right? We're going to change that a little bit. Kind of try to dial that down right from the get-go. Right? We might even dial it in and out. Right? One of the things that SLB Drinks had told me right off the bat earlier this year when I reached out to them, and they were kind enough to respond back, was they talked about the importance of the splash page, right? The thumbnail, right? And I've wanted to keep a very consistent thumbnail. So all of ours, like the only thing that changed from season 1 to season 2 on our thumbnail was it says season 2 like at an angle, like in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
It's probably that corner, right? And that was the only thing that changed. So there's going to be some dramatic changes, I think, to our thumbnail. That's going to take a little time to cultivate. But there will be, I think we're going to make another step change in what we're trying to do. And if you think about it, 156 subscribers, I think, 2025.
More subscribers.
40, well, they'll come, right? If we put out good content, I have confidence that people will sign up for the program. And I don't mind taking our time to build things properly, right? Yeah. This isn't like a Mr. Beast kind of program we're trying to create here. But again, 45 episodes we recorded in 2025.
That's a lot of bourbon.
Well, no, it wasn't, Laura. So give us a couple months, and season 3 will be back. And again, I think it's important. We're going to stay on the clip of having one video released every week, which we've tried to do a pretty good job of. We're getting 45 videos. 52 weeks in the year, right? We're going to try to do that again in 2026. Although the first 2-3 months will be our retooling, and I'd really like to get into a little bit of a set reorganization, right? And this is all, of course, paving the way to when we start season 4. Season 4 will be in a new location.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be new location, new set, and new shenanigans.
Chickens running around.
Maybe some chickens. Who knows? They might not be on the program.
Maybe not.
Might be on a different channel. Until next time. Thanks for your subscribership. Happy New Year. Until season 3. Cheers. Ordinary Guys Bourbon.
Cheers.